We are children of former slaves. It's true, we are. But what does that mean to us today? For some, it means nothing. Is anything wrong with that? I mean, it's not for me to say, but I do want to talk about it. And welcome to Teen Talk. Good morning, everyone. And in light of emancipation celebrations, we're discussing our views. To help me this morning are Kelly Ann Ponal from the Pre-University at the University of the West Indies, Sian Gilman of St. Andrew High School for Girls, and Jelani Monroe, Student Council President of Campion College. Welcome, guys. Thank you so much for coming. Now, I don't know if you can hear in the background, but Redemption Song by Bob Marley is playing, and the popular words, emancipate yourself from mental slavery, is suggesting that we're still enslaved mentally, don't you say?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What do you think?
Well, in terms of being enslaved mentally, you probably can say that our black people today are trying to copy the image of our former enslavers in terms of the hair, the skin color. People are bleaching to tone out themselves.
As far as I think that area is called colonialism.
Mm-hmm.
You'd say when we had our rulers' hair, and our regular kinky hair is not seen as proper.
Everybody tries to straighten their hair to get that look. That pretty hair look.
And in fact, to be very honest with you, I was thinking about it a while ago, and I can't recall very many persons, very many women in very higher positions who actually have kept natural hair. The only two that are coming to mind now are Paula Ann Porter and Dionne Jackson Miller. Aside from those two, I have no memory of that. And so, to an extent, it is as a result of things that are fed from media companies, and it's not just a Jamaican problem. It's a problem everywhere for black people. And I think perhaps it's also a part of the globalization. Yeah. You know, wherever there's globalization, there isn't just economic globalization, there's cultural globalization. And so you find that there are persons from lighter skin complexions as well, who there are things like tanning, some have other physical features altered for an image.
Have globalization in terms of our culture, or what people practice. The food we eat nowadays, we used to have
very true.
But you're saying, as far as the tanning goes, you know, persons of fair complexions are tanning, whereas we as black people are
lightening our skin to become
because
like bleaching,
it's morphing into one image that is ideal.
And you have like people in the media who promote bleaching, and I don't think that's really encouraging to our youth, because you see that people do whatever they see, people who they have as role models.
And they never really have a good reason to do it, the bleaching.
People who they have as role models, they copy their image, and so you have more and more people today bleaching their skins to try and get that brown look and whatever.
That's one way to look at it. I mean, you're certainly keeping it natural too. Very well done. This is very recent, by the way.
Oh,
I meant to mention, just did it.
Good work, good work.
Oh, but yes, as we all know, yesterday was Emancipation Day. You know, happy Emancipation Day.
Thank you, belated, thank you.
Well, yes. Some persons didn't know it was Emancipation Day. Some persons thought it was Independence. Some persons just really didn't know anything about it. Now, for most, Emancipation Day or any other holiday as such is, say, just another day, an extra day of the weekend to sleep. I mean, I work and I sleep.
Guilty?
I'm guilty of that. But, I mean, is there anything you guys did for Emancipation Day? Any cultural event? Because I know cultural events aren't promoted as much, I believe.
I agree with that as well.
You went to Denby?
Yes.
And how was that?
It was pretty interesting. They had a lot of stuff on display for us to see, stuff that are made from things that you wouldn't even believe. Like they had a turtle made out of a coconut shell thing. It was really cool. Yeah.
I saw a Puerto Rican star mango. I have never seen a mango looking like that before. It got me very excited. It wasn't actually a star, it's shaped more like a moon type.
Okay.
But things like that I wouldn't have been exposed to otherwise.
Wine. They had wine out of everything. It was really interesting to see the stuff that you can do.
It goes to show how creative we as Jamaicans are. Now, Sian, what did you do? What did you do? Was there anything on TV, guys? What did CVM show?
I watched Milk and Honey, you know, the Jamaican plot about immigration struggles, which I think was timely. It's a problem that all immigrant communities face, and we definitely aren't excluded from the exploitation and all those other woes.
Okay, well, speaking of events over the weekend, we all know that, you know, around this time usually we have Dream Weekend, ATI, RTI. Are these things taking the place of our cultural events for our youth? I mean, are they made as popular as Dream Weekend? Because people are talking about this from last year, you know.
Well, in terms of Dream Weekend, I wouldn't say that, well, actually I would say that it probably takes the place of our cultural events. Maybe it wasn't planned, probably coincidentally landed on this weekend, who knows. But still, I think that even if there was no Dream Weekend on Emancipation Weekend, I don't think much teens would be interested these days to participate in cultural stuff, because I don't know, I don't think that's as much.
I find it kind of boring.
Well,
Kind of boring.
Yeah.
the thing is, for me, most of the holidays, I find you ask somebody what is Boxing Day, there are very few people will be able to tell you why we have Boxing Day. You just know you get it after Christmas. And that's the sort of thing that's happening for many of these holidays. The holidays are just becoming really rest days. Even Labor Day, we had the problem. Very little labor was done on Labor Day. I heard people saying Labor Day is now a celebration of labor instead of a day for labor.
Like, why is everywhere open, you know? There shouldn't be anywhere open today.
It's not just independence and emancipation celebrations that are affected. And more than just that, I think there has never really been any great push for the cultural events among persons in our age demographic, about, let's say, 13 to 23.
This is true.
You know, and I suppose maybe they think it's a lost cause, but it's something that I don't know if it's also a part of the problem with corporate sponsorship, but there needs to be greater promotion of these events to young people, because there are some who will be a little more receptive to going than we think.
This is true. Now, Sian, you're the youngest of us all. You're 13, 17, 18, 18. What are your views as far as promoting cultural events goes for your age group?
I think it should be promoted because, like, I'm not sure about everybody else, but most of my friends get bored incredibly easy.
I think that's right across the board.
It's not just you.
So, like, if I can't find anything that captures my attention, I don't really pay attention to it. So I guess they should try and make the cultural stuff more interesting to capture the different youth attention.
But I think that they could, because when I was a child, I used to go to the shows that they had at stadium, and they used to have the parades and the people in there.
Exactly.
And all the colorful the music and everything.
I used to go, and then I think that with our teens, because of the change in cultural times, like, for example, we're moving from a technical age where we were more hands-on to a more technological age where we're more computer savvy. Everybody is onto their computer and whatever. Nobody wants to try and say, okay, whereas we can make something to benefit us. Now we're trying to buy something that can benefit us. Or do nobody wants to do that anymore. So, so like the cultural times are pretty much changing. So in other words, they have to find a way to incorporate our culture into the new times. Yeah.
Well, it's true. Well, culture is dynamic. Yeah, sociology at its best, right there. Culture is dynamic. Now, as far as Jamaican history goes, does anyone know how old Jamaica is? We had this discussion on Twitter last night, guys. We had this discussion on Twitter.
2011 minus 1962.
You don't know, do you?
49.
49,
There was
okay.
one guy, he was so determined that it was 50. Like, we're all trying to tell him, no, it's
49, guys. 49, guys.
49 years, guys.
Yes, almost there, almost there. But as far as this goes, you know, a lot of persons, children in general, don't know these simple things. They don't know how many national heroes there are. They don't know which one's first. They don't know the prime minister is basically in order, the shortest serving prime minister. Lots of things like that.
You know, I just find it incredible that you cannot know. I have memories, for instance, of grade 1, learning about the remora and the sucker fish, and doing a project like that with my father. You know, there are 3 compulsory years of Caribbean history at the secondary level, and just a basic thing like having an emancipation and independence breakfast, and the family just saying, and the parents just saying, you know, emancipation, the slaves were
you sit down in front of the TV, everybody has to watch the documentaries.
You know,
I remember in prep school we used to do social studies, we learned all that stuff. They used to have the book with the national heroes on the back and the prime minister. That's
they still have those, exactly. They still have those
endangered animals and stuff.
Yes, all those things.
I have to wonder though if it's really that they don't know, or if it's just that it's being memorized for academic purposes and then being forgotten after. Because the exposure is supposed to be there.
Kids.
Or maybe it is that nobody is really interested in that kind of stuff anymore.
In fact, to be honest with you, I don't need to be interested to know. I mean, whether I were interested in the subject or not, I would know who the prime ministers were. And I was exposed to it repeatedly.
Exactly.
Not a lot of people are like that though.
Yeah,
they only learn it like to get good grades on exams, and then like after exams gone, it just flies out of their head.
I think with teens is that we naturally drift away from what we're told to do. So if our parents say, okay, this is what should happen, we're going to say, all right, you're old, you really don't know what's happening now. So we have a different stage. We probably think that our parents don't really know much about technology, and that's the age that we're in. So we tend to break away from what the older generation would be teaching us. So I guess
and then
that's
you
why
get totally shocked when they know more things than you.
Yeah, so what about introducing civics, guys? Reintroducing civics.
Civics, well, I know I'm not sure if it was unique to my own school's curriculum, but we did civics for the first term of third form. And I would like to think that that is common for most schools. I know it was very useful for, oh, you don't have any memories of that?
No.
I think we did civics in third form, but we didn't do it as a topic civics. We did it in history class. So.
Oh, well, it probably got muddled somewhere in there from my experience. But as far as civics goes, I think it should be introduced, like how you have it from, you have your cultural training from the basic school, prep school level, coming right up. It shouldn't stop. Because after third form, when CXC hits you, and not everybody is going to the history, because I dropped history. I cannot do dates. I don't do dates.
History's not all about dates. I did history. It's not that bad.
I don't have the memory capacity for that at all. But that's a different case. Sociology is sort of. But I mean, they shouldn't stop it. They really shouldn't, because children, like you said, lose interest.
I even know what civics is.
Okay. And it's so sad that, because we're going to be the ones who are taking over the country, I would have no idea what our culture is like. So eventually you'll find that our culture is going to change. We're going to probably adapt a culture from abroad or something. I don't know. It's going to like...
We're doing that now.
Exactly. Globalization.
Okay, so Sian doesn't know what civics is exactly. Jelani, please.
Civics, really, I suppose, we're basically study of government and its structure and its implementation, project delivery, and that sort of thing.
So what's the difference between civics and history?
No, well...
More about the past.
Yeah, history is more about the past.
It can have civics. It can have civics, but many times it's more expansive than what you learn in civics.
Okay, so guys, we are 49 years old, yes. How much have we changed since independence in 1962 and present date?
I think we've changed a lot, to be honest.
For better or for worse?
For better and, well...
Worse in some cases.
In some cases. For better because back then you used to have well, not fresh out of slavery, but you understand emancipation was there. You used to have heavy incidents of racism. Black people weren't, I think the literacy rate has improved.
Yes,
Black people are getting more jobs or higher placed jobs and less technical hands-on jobs. You see people, more of us are in schools, graduating and whatever. So I think that it really has improved in some aspects. In terms of education, it has improved, but it could be more. But you know,
I definitely agree that we've made very significant strides. The unique thing about something like independence is that you get to reap all the benefits of your own work, but you must now also take responsibility for all the hardships and the woes.
This is true.
But we have had greater access to education, the freedom of speech, the freedom of the press. The people have always been involved in their elections. We haven't had anarchy or a civil war that has broken out and captured the government structure. So I think we have much to be proud of as we move to 50.
Yes. I believe so as well, but we're all looking at patriotic teens here, right?
Very much so.
Well, I'm in my bandana. I'm very patriotic today.
I have my little Jamaican colors, you know, my green and my yellow.
Oh yes, we're all very patriotic. I'm glad our teens have some interest. Thanks again, Jelani, Sian, Kelly. You know, after this discussion, I still have a lot to think about. I'm sure you guys do, and I hope our viewers feel the same way. I think it's the best way to spark a change, you know, talking about it. That's why I love Teen Talk. But we have to go. I'll see you next week. Take care.
Summertime in a